Hey everybody, it's James here at the Sawyer Family Reviews channel. Today is Wednesday, February 5th, 2020. This is your weekly comic book pickups video. Every week, I pick up my boys and my daughter some comics. I get some for me as well. But I always pick them up at Queen City Comics in Fairfield, Ohio, zip code 45014. If you're in the area and into comics, check out that shop. While you're over there, check out the toy department, the vintage toy store that I'm a part of. All right? Let's jump in. True Believers, we've moved past the ruins of Ravencroft now, and we're focusing on the Iron Man 2020 event that's happening. This one is Tales of Suspense reprint of the first appearance of Pepper Potts and Happy Hogan. The Marvel True Believers are $1 reprints that are tied into something that's currently going on. Like I said, it's tying into the Iron Man 2020 event that's happening now. Now, I remember when Iron Man 2020 first appeared and thinking about how far off 2020 was, and now we're in it. That's crazy. This is Tales of Suspense, number 45, reprinted by Lee, Burns, and Heck. It's just a classic, clunky, golden armor Iron Man adventure. And it's only $1. Those over there. That's the only True Believers this week. There are some DC reprints as well, but I just grabbed the True Believers. This one's for Gracie. Incredibles 2 Slow Burn, number 1, from Dark Horse Comics, $3.99. If you like the Incredibles movies, she likes Incredibles 2. Script by Christos Gage. He's really good. Art by Jean Claudio Vinci. Okay. All right. Christos Gage is a good writer, so this should be good. This is fun. Look at this. That's fun. Who doesn't like Incredibles? That's for her. Napoleon Dynamite, number 4. This is for everybody. Me, Blaze, and Keaton read this, and Grace even looks at it too. Not very good covers this time around, though. There's no picture cover. There was just this video game-esque one of Uncle Rico throwing the steak. And then the other cover was like a painted cover. I wanted a photo cover. I don't like that when I have to mix things up. This is written by Carlos Guzman Verdugo and Alejandro Verdugo. Art and colors by Jorge Monlongo. I don't know if this is the last issue. I think it might be the last issue. I don't want to flip too far in advance. The plot line had Uncle Rico possibly being involved in a murder, I think, if I remember right. And Pedro being framed for fixing the election to make him vice president. Yeah, I'm not going to go too far. It's a weird, quirky style, but it fits the Napoleon Dynamite character. All right. Next up, Marauders number 7. I am caught up on Marauders. I'm caught up on X-Men, X-Force, New Mutants, Marauders, Excalibur. Fallen Angels is the only one I'm not caught up on. Marauders is the one that's getting close to the chopping block. Out of the ones I've read, Marauders and Excalibur are the two closest for me to saying, that's enough. It's not really that great. It's not that great. I haven't read Fallen Angels, and a lot of people tell me that Fallen Angels is probably the worst of the bunch. So it may end up being that Fallen Angels gets canned after I finish reading them, then Marauders, then Excalibur, then New Mutants, and me just down to X-Men and X-Force. But I said, well, I've caught up, but I'll read the current issue. I'll read number 7 and see if I want to keep going. I just don't enjoy the overly comedic tone of a lot of the characters. It's just, man, when I was reading like Chris Claremont's X-Men, think about how good that was. I mean, there was some comedy, but it wasn't like in your face all the time. Like every character is sarcastic and has a comedic edge, and they're always putting out like funny comments. It doesn't need to be written like a Joss Whedon show. It doesn't need to be written like Kevin Smith wrote it. We don't have to have characters joking all the time. I would probably be into the story if it wasn't for the constant humor stuff. I just don't like the overly jokey tone. So this team, it's Storm and Pyro and Kate Pride. Don't call her Kitty. And they all have this giant ship, and they're involved with sneaking out mutants. And there's some discord between Sebastian Shaw wanting to be his son to be the Red Bishop, or the Red Knight, or the Red King, and Kate Pryde being the Red Queen. It's okay. This is a different artist too. This is a different artist than usual. I do like Callisto, so this may turn it around for me. I do enjoy Callisto. So I don't know. Who's the team on this? What is this? $3.99? Jerry Dugan and Stefano Caselli? That's your team? I just don't know. Yeah, I don't know. This may be my last Marauders. I find myself forcing myself to read some of these books at this point. And I'm like, man, why am I doing that? I do really enjoy X-Force a lot. I've enjoyed half of New Mutants. I've really enjoyed X-Men for the most part. I'm interested to see what Hickman's doing. But the other titles, I'm feeling kind of like, okay, gotta get through it. I can spend that time rereading some old books instead. So if I'm getting to the point where I'm kind of force-feeding myself some of these titles, it's time to cut them, man. It's time to cut them. And I don't know how you guys feel about that, too. Like, if you are able to break away from a book once you're in it, or if you just stick with it in the hopes it somehow gets better. I don't know. So this one's for Blaze. Conan, Battle for the Serpent Crown, #1. This is $3.99. I got him that other Conan series. So I figured, I'll keep doing these little Conans that aren't the actual title and see if he's digging on them. So this is by Saladin Ahmed, Luke Ross. From the hills of his homeland in Samaria, Conan traveled, survived, and thrived by cutting a bloody swath through the Hyborian age. So stranger travels have found him in yet another strange new place, the modern world. So this is Conan in the modern world, just like Savage Avengers. Ooh, the art is nice. I like the art. This might be good. I'm going to give this a shot, too. It's Cable. I like Phil Noto. Ooh, Jerry Dugan. Oh, no. He's one of our Marauders. Everybody's going to be joking. Look at that. Ooh, Silver Samurai. Oh, snap. All right. Looks like a Cylon. Looks like a Cylon behind him. Did you see that? A Cylon. Looks like a Cylon. All right. Next up. This is for Keaton. Spider-Verse featuring Spider-Man Noir. Now, I didn't pick up these other Spider-Verse crossovers that so far I've had Miles jumping around to different different Spider-Men in the Spider-Verse. Christos Gage, look at that. But this one, he loves Spider-Man Noir. So I was like, I'm going to grab this one. And if he wants to try and round up the other ones, we can. But I really liked the art style. He's a big Spider-Man Noir fan. So I went for this. Christos Gage, Juan Ferry, I can't say his name. And at the final page, Tom Lyle. Man, that's a bummer. Drew my favorite, Tim Drake Robin. The best, man. Super, super nice guy, too. I sent him a bunch of books, and he signed them for me. And then communicated with me back and forth through Facebook. He was just awesome. Super, super nice guy. Okay, back to the book. So, look at these 2020s. We were talking about that a minute ago. It has cool art. I like how Miles is like the color in there, except for like the Nazi, any reds, like the red Nazi flags are showing up. But it's very much like the colors are all muted. And the final, I don't want to flip all the way through this, but the final panel says that Spider-Man Noir comes back in his own #1 issue in like March or something, late March or whatever. So I figured I'd grab this, and then he could check it out, and then tell me if he wants me to get the Spider-Man Noir. And then last is a book for me, X-Men and Fantastic Four #1. This is by the Dodsons, and who's writing this? Chip Zdarsky, I think. But this is $4.99. I don't know if I told you, but the Spider-Verse was $3.99. This is the only $4.99 book. So this book, sorry, I put my finger in front of the camera for a second there. This book is interesting to me, not because I currently read Fantastic Four, because I don't. I do love the Fantastic Four, but I don't think they've been really all that readable for a while. What's interesting for this book for me is that this is kind of the first time where the X-Men are really, really crossing over with the normal Marvel Universe since the whole House of X, Dawn of X thing, or Powers of X thing. So that to me is going to be interesting to see how these characters interact, and if there's any kind of history there that they allude to, what's changed and what's different between the characters. The art's really cool. I love the Dodsons. So this is an interesting book. I'm looking forward to seeing how everything goes, and in the first kind of interaction between the new status quo X-Men and the Marvel Universe proper. So, and then I got the Mark Brooks variant, which I'm assuming is going to be a connecting cover since we have half of Doctor Doom here. Yeah, we'll get the rest of the Fantastic Four and some more X-Men or something. Yeah. And that is it this week. Let me know what you guys picked up. This is going to be, obviously, the book I'm reading and looking forward to the most. This might be the last Marauders. We'll see. What are you guys picking up? Leave a comment down below. Like, notify, subscribe, all that jazz. And I'll see you guys next week.